Hi, first of all, my name is Jovira Hanifa, and I'm from University Persada of Indonesia, and I'm in Faculty of Psychology. Flood. The word flood means the inability of rivers, lakes, drainage, or other waterways to accommodate massive quantities of water. So the water overflows and enters the surrounding area. Flood often occurs in the area on the edge of the river or a region that was once a river absorption, and also in the area where the drainage system is disturbed. The disaster usually occurs in the rainy season as the rainfall with high intensity and with a very long duration. There are two factors that can cause flood: the natural factors and social factors. The first factor is the natural factor. This factor is a cause that comes from nature itself. Nature produces heavy rain that continue to fall and cause the area of water absorption overflow, so that the water can no longer flow. As a result, the water will spread to all directions and enter into residential areas. In addition, nature can also cause the constriction of the river as a result of erosion. It causes the sedimentation to get into the river and reduce the capacity of the river. The second factor is the social factor. This factor is a factor that often causes flood. It happens because of human behavior itself, which often causes nature damage. People often throw the trash in the rivers. It is causing the surface of the river become shallow as a result of the trash piling up. Some people also build their houses or other buildings in the area that's supposed to be a water absorption area of the river. The surface of the river that becomes shallow causes the river can no longer accommodate water in the large amount, and also cause the soil can no longer absorb the water. A result, when the rain falls with a long duration, even though it is not so heavy, it will cause water overflow towards all directions, and the large amount of water will flow into residential areas. The water caused the houses are flooded. Even worse, flood could sink the houses in the residential. Floods are one of the disasters feared by people in society, because floods come with a high water discharge in undated at a high level for a long time, and carry waste material that interfere with activities in society. Flooding can also affect the quality of clean water in a region. Water is a natural resource that is very important for all life on Earth, especially humans. Almost all human activities on Earth use water, such as basic sanitation, washing, food and drinking, and soon. The water sources that are mostly used by people in Indonesia are rivers, lakes, reservoirs, and wells. Therefore, water pollution that results from flooding will be very detrimental to people who live in the area. Introduction. The environment is a combination of two things: resource and hazards. There are triggers because the environment changes, whether spontaneously or continuously. This change is influenced by many causative factors and the variety of resulting impacts. Environmental change not only affects the environment itself, but can also cause changes in the components of the environment. One of the hazards that results from environmental changes is the occurrence of natural disasters. Fundamentally, natural disasters have occurred since ancient times. Archaeologists say that humans in prehistoric times have faced the same risks. and dangers as humans today, namely famine, crime from other humans, animal attacks, disease, and so on. Humans in the era had also tried to ridicule, mitigate the risk of potential danger by way of living in caves. Why read? It is possible to carry out research without engaging in much direct reading, though it will be unusual to do so without any new reading. This may happen, for example, where the contents on the time available do not allow for much reading, or where the method and context are familiar, or where the research involved are being employed simply to administer questionnaires or carry out interviews for someone else. We would argue strongly, however, especially where the research has an academic connection, that it is highly desirable, if not essential, to engage in related reading while carrying out a research project. Your research project needs to be informed and stimulated by your developing knowledge as you carry it out. Basic reading strategies. The other obvious place to read nowadays is on your computer, making us of some of the vast range of material available through the internet. Compared to libraries, the material available on the internet is much more variable in quality. You do, of course, need to have access to a computer and internet connection. Given this, access is easy, though at times it may be frustrating and can be expensive. With the research literature, to the novice researchers, it can seem like there is so much that needs reading and that it is so difficult to get on top of or make sense of it. More experienced researchers, you may or may not be relieved to know, can have much the same concerns, but the new researchers may feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of these demands for quite a long time. If you recognize these problems, are not sure where to start in reading research literature, or what to do with when you have read it,